Liberals calling for the Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau to be the President of the U.S. But perhaps leftists do not realize that Canada's immigration policy inspired Donald Trump's new immigration legislation plan. That's along with Mr. Senator Perdue and Tom Cotton. This is a plan that Liberals are fighting against. In fact, Canada pioneered skills-based immigration.
I mean, don't forget, what Jim Acosta is complaining about is that Trump wants to move to a Canadian-style immigration policy. These are the same people who were wetting their knickers over Justin Trudeau on the cover of Rolling Stone, saying, oh, why can't we have a dreamboat president like the Canadian Prime Minister? And Trump saying, well, I'll meet you halfway. Let's start with Canadian immigration policy. And suddenly Justin Trudeau is this white supremacist, and Trump is trashing America's immigration policy to turn himself into another maple-infused Ku Klux Klan moose hunting ground like Canada. This is ridiculous.
Joining me now, the Wall Street Journal deputy editorial page editor, Dan Henninger. There's a lot for you to chew on that with this soundbite. What do you think of this whole dust-up?
Well, I think it's a little bit ridiculous. It's somewhat apples and oranges. People are always comparing the United States to other countries. It's, you know, like if only we had the Swedish healthcare system, things would be fine here. Yeah, maybe if we had something like 330 million Swedes living in the United States. Canada is not the United States. This is a much more complicated country with a much more complicated economy. And I think liberals putting Justin Trudeau on the front of Rolling Stone is hilarious. They're always sort of enamored with these photogenic liberal politicians who roll up their sleeves and look like they're going to get things done, like Barack Obama. You know, Canada's economy under Justin's father, Pierre Trudeau, didn't do anything.
Yeah, it's in a housing bubble. I mean, they have a 2008-style bubble.
It took conservative politicians to rationalize the Canadian economy.
You know, the point is that, you know, they're applauding Justin Trudeau. He's on the cover of Rolling Stone. Canada has a skills-based immigration policy. President Trump says, yes, we should do the same, but President Trump is attacked, right?
Right. What else do you expect? Of course, President Trump is going to get attacked. But the problem here in the United States is that we have jobs at both the low end and the high end that need a lot of workers. And we've tried to solve this immigration problem in the past, Liz, and I'm convinced personally it's not going to work until we have a guest worker program that doesn't raise the issue of citizenship. A lot of these people, especially at the lower end, would just as soon come to the United States, do jobs that are available for them to do, and then go home when those jobs are done.
I have to say it again. Barbara Jordan, civil rights icon under Bill Clinton, worked on the Immigration Commission, said it's a right and a responsibility of a democratic society to manage immigration so that it is in the national interest. That was Barbara Jordan's point, and Democrats agreed with her in the 90s. And then we have Democrat socialists like Bernie Sanders. Dan, they're always warning about capitalist policies, putting more money in the hands of millionaires and billionaires. Let's take a listen.
When you have a handful of billionaires, a handful of people with hundreds of billions of dollars between them have determined that owning our economy is not good enough. A political oligarchy where a handful of billionaires spend hundreds of millions of dollars electing candidates.
This, as a new report says, the engine of capitalism. The U.S. stock markets are helping American households. Average Americans keep crushing it with their 401ks as the Dow shoots past 22,000. So, Dan, the stock market is hitting all-time highs and retirement account balances are enjoying that. Doesn't a rising market help everybody of all political stripes, even Bernie Sanders?
Yes, it certainly does, Liz. I mean, Bernie Sanders is a big government guy. Does the government have anything whatsoever to do with the stock market being at this level? I mean, what this shows us, when people think Bernie's a little bit nuts, Bernie Sanders is driving the Democratic Party, those progressive policies. The progressive Democrats have completely disconnected from the private economy. They don't understand it. They see it as this kind of abstraction out there that sends money to the federal government to spend. What they don't understand is that that private economy is what is producing the profits, the earnings that are allowing people's 401ks to thrive.
Yeah, that's a good point. And, you know, as baby boomers retire en masse now, doesn't Bernie Sanders, don't the socialists out there get it, that when you have a rising stock market and rising 401k balances, that takes a load off of Social Security and Medicare and Medicaid?
Exactly. you put your finger on it. Those rising 401ks are avoiding a lot of social strife in the United States, which we would have had if those baby boomers who retired find that Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid, the three entitlements that Bernie Sanders and his party like to preside over, are going broke over time. And when that happens, you're going to have older generations pitted against the younger generation over a shrinking pie. And the pie is the private economy. And again, the Democrats do not understand anymore how it functions, how it works, how it creates wealth.
Wow, who would have thought we'd be here at this point in time in our political lives? Thank you so much, Dan Henninger. We love having you on. Come back soon.